Here are 6 of the most horrifying mythical creatures you've probably never heard of. And hopefully, you never will, at least not in person, alone in the dead of night. Look, you've heard of vampires and werewolves, maybe even some Japanese yokai if you're into that sort of thing. But those creatures? Child's play compared to what we're about to discuss. I'm talking about a flying head that hunts pregnant women with its intestines dangling behind it like some kind of organic helicopter. A woman who will literally ask if she's pretty, and depending on your answer, will either let you live or turn your face into a permanent smile. And a witch who murdered their own sibling to gain the power to shapeshift into animals and read your mind. These aren't creatures Hollywood made up to sell movie tickets. These are legends that entire cultures genuinely believed in. Some still do. And here's the disturbing part. A lot of these stories have rules. Ways to protect yourself, ways to kill them. Which makes you wonder, why would people need such specific instructions if these things never existed in the first place? Don't say I didn't warn you, because I just did. Let's start with a Japanese urban legend that caused genuine mass hysteria in the 1970s. Kuchisake Onna translates to slit-mouthed woman, and if you were a kid in Japan during the late 1970s, this legend absolutely terrorized your childhood. Here's how it works. You're walking home at night when you see a beautiful woman standing under a streetlight. She's wearing a surgical mask, which in Japan is completely normal. People wear them for allergies, colds, pollution, whatever. She approaches you with a simple question. Am I pretty? Now you're probably thinking, sure, just say yes and walk away. Wrong. So very wrong. You say yes, she removes the mask, and her mouth is sliced open from ear to ear in a grotesque, permanent smile. Blood-stained teeth exposed. Scar tissue pulling at the edges. Then she asks again, leaning closer, how about now? If you say no, she kills you immediately with the scissors she's been hiding. Quick, brutal, efficient. But if you say yes, she takes out those scissors and makes you like her. Cuts your mouth open ear to ear so you can match. There is no winning here. It's a riddle where every answer ends in violence. The origin story is genuinely tragic. Centuries ago, she was the beautiful wife of a samurai. Depending on who tells the story, she was either unfaithful or falsely accused of it. Her husband, consumed by rage and jealousy, took his sword and mutilated her face, snarling, "Who will think you're pretty now?" She died from the wounds and came back as a vengeful spirit, forever asking that same question to anyone unlucky enough to cross her path. Now, there are ways to escape. And honestly, they're almost comedic. You can give her an ambiguous answer like, "you're average," or "so-so," which apparently short-circuits her ghost brain long enough for you to run. You can throw candy at her, she gets distracted like a toddler. Or my personal favorite, you can just say, "I have an appointment," and leave. Apparently, Japanese ghosts respect scheduling conflicts. But here's what makes this different from other folklore. In 1979, sightings of Kuchisake Onna spread so rapidly across Japan that it caused genuine panic. Schools sent children home in groups. Police increased nighttime patrols. Parents were genuinely terrified, all because of a woman in a surgical mask asking if she's pretty. The legend spread worldwide and has inspired countless horror films, manga, and video games. She's become Japan's most exported nightmare. But at least you can confuse her with weird answers. The next creature on our list? Not so easily fooled. The penanggalan comes from Malaysia and Indonesia, and it might be the single most disgusting thing we discuss today. During the day, she appears completely normal. Could be your neighbor. Could be the woman who sells you fruit at the market. You'd never suspect anything. But when night falls, her head detaches from her body at the neck, and all of her internal organs come with it. I'm talking stomach, intestines, lungs, liver, everything just hanging there below her floating head like nightmare party streamers. Then she sprouts bat wings and flies off to hunt. And what does she hunt? Pregnant women and newborn babies primarily. She uses her unnaturally long tongue to drink blood and consume placentas. You wanted me to illustrate that? Absolutely not. Here's a picture of a corgi instead. You've earned it after that mental image. The origin story is actually kind of sad. According to legend, she was a woman practicing meditation and dark magic rituals to gain power or beauty, depending on the version you hear. Someone burst in and startled her during a critical moment. The shock was so intense, so fundamentally wrong, that her head literally tore away from her body, cursed to hunt like this forever. The punishment doesn't fit the crime, honestly. Oh, you were meditating? Eternal damnation for you. But here's the design flaw that proves even supernatural curses have bugs that need patching. While her head is out hunting, her body is just standing there, somewhere, waiting. Probably very confused. Those dangling organs expand during the night as they fill with blood. So before sunrise, she has to find barrels of vinegar to soak them in, shrinking them back down so they'll fit back inside her body. If she can't reunite with her lower half before dawn, she dies. The traditional protection is beautifully simple. Thorny plants. Cover your windows, doors, any opening with thorny branches. The organs get tangled and caught, trapping her until the sun finishes the job. Despite Malaysia modernizing rapidly, people in rural areas still report seeing strange lights flying through the night, trailing something behind them. They close their windows, check their thorn barriers, and wait for morning. Think dangling intestines are disturbing? The Philippines has two creatures that somehow make this look tame. The manananggal is from the Philippines, and its name literally means one who separates itself. Take one guess what it separates. First two don't count. By day, she looks like an older woman, maybe a bit haggard, kind of disfigured, but nothing that screams torso-detaching nightmare monster. Just someone you'd nod at politely if you passed on the street. At night, her upper body splits from her waist. Entrails hanging out everywhere like the world's worst anatomical diagram come to life. She sprouts massive bat wings and launches into the darkness. Her target demographic is very specific. Pregnant women, newborns, newlyweds, lovers, and men who were abandoned before marriage. She's got a whole list, honestly. Very organized for a flying torso. She uses a long, proboscis-like tongue, think mosquito, but horrifying, to suck blood from sleeping victims. But here's where it gets worse, and I'm sorry to tell you this. She specifically targets pregnant women to extract their unborn children. Did you think I was going to draw that scene? Not a chance. Here's a golden retriever puppy. Look at its face. Focus on that instead. While hunting, the manananggal makes a distinctive tick-tick-tick sound. And this is psychologically brilliant. The farther away the ticking sounds, the closer she actually is. It's reverse audio tracking designed to make victims think they're safe when they're absolutely not. Oh good, that ticking is way over there, I'm fine. Nope. She's hovering right above you. The absolutely hilarious weakness in this entire cursed existence is that her lower half just stands there while she's hunting. Her legs, her butt, just waiting in a corner somewhere for the top half to come home. And that's how you kill her. Find the lower half, prevent them from reuniting before sunrise, and she's done. Traditional methods include burning it, covering it in salt, ash, or garlic. Basically, throw anything at the butt that would work on a vampire. People in the Visayan regions of the Philippines still report hearing that ticking sound at night. They stay inside, lock their doors, and pray they don't hear it getting quieter. Before we continue and dive into an even worse Filipino nightmare, I'd like to ask for your help. I'm working to grow this channel and bring you more deep dives into folklore and mythology from around the world. If you're enjoying this video, hit that subscribe button. These creatures aren't going to promote themselves. Your support means everything. Okay, let's continue, because here's the thing about Filipino folklore. The manananggal, that's just one type of monster. The next one is an entire category of nightmare. The aswang is the most feared creature in all of Filipino folklore. And here's the fun part. Aswang isn't one monster. It's an umbrella term. It's like saying fast food. Could be a burger, could be tacos, could be something that violates health codes. You just don't know until it's too late. An aswang can be a vampire, a viscera sucker, a witch, a ghoul that eats corpses from cemeteries, or a shapeshifter that transforms into dogs, pigs, or bats. It's basically a supernatural Swiss Army knife of horror. During the day, they look completely normal. Your neighbor, your coworker, that friendly person at church, totally ordinary. But there are signs if you know what to look for. Bloodshot eyes. When you look into their eyes, you see no reflection. Like staring into a black mirror. They avoid garlic, salt, and religious objects. And my personal favorite, in moonlight, their shadow has no head. That last one feels like whoever wrote these rules just threw it in for style points. But here's where aswangs get truly messed up. They can replace sick people with replicas made of sticks, leaves, and magic. The family thinks their loved one is slowly recovering. They're not. The real person was taken and devoured. The stick version dies a few days later, and no one knows what actually happened. Some aswang variants have a thin, whip-like tail they use to inject black chicks, basically disease carriers, into victims. It's like a supernatural syringe of pestilence. Different Philippine provinces have different versions. Some can remove their shadow and send it out scouting. Some can perfectly mimic voices. Some can smell fear from miles away. It's like they had a meeting and decided, let's just make this thing capable of every horrible thing we can imagine. Protection methods include the usual: garlic, salt, holy water, but also stingray tails. Apparently, aswangs hate stingrays. Someone also discovered ginger works, which honestly seems the most practical option. The aswang appears in more documented folklore than any other Filipino creature. Films, TV shows, horror stories. Parents still use it to make misbehaving children act right. But those creatures, as terrifying as they are, stay in the Philippines. What if I told you the next one could be your neighbor, your friend, even your family member? And you'd never know until it was too late. Before we go any further, I need to be very clear about something. The skinwalker comes from Navajo culture in the southwestern United States. And unlike the other creatures on this list, many Navajo people don't consider this folklore or legend. They believe these things are genuinely real, not spooky campfire story, real. Real. Don't even speak the name because you might attract one. Real. So we're handling this with respect, or at least as much respect as you can while discussing something that requires murdering your own sibling to gain magical powers. In Navajo tradition, there are medicine men, healers who use knowledge of both good and evil magic to protect their community, treat the sick, ward off dark forces. And then there are witches, the exact opposite, the shadow reflection of everything good. These witches use their knowledge specifically to harm people. They craft weapons from human bones, make poisons and curses from body parts, use corpses to fuel their dark magic. It's like Etsy, but for cursed objects. But to become a true skinwalker, to gain shapeshifting abilities, there's an entrance requirement that's absolutely unforgivable. You must kill a close blood relative, preferably a sibling. Yeah, that's the price of admission. Once you've crossed that line, and honestly, if you've gotten this far, redemption isn't on the table anymore. You gain the ability to transform into any animal, usually predatory ones like wolves, coyotes, bears. But technically, any creature works. When they're in human form, they wear the pelt of whatever animal they transform into. And their eyes? They look like animal eyes. Wrong. Unsettling. But when they're in animal form, their eyes look human. So if you're hiking in the desert and see a coyote staring at you with distinctly human eyes showing far too much intelligence, congratulations. You found a skinwalker. Run. By day, these witches walk among their communities completely undetected. By night, they transform. They cause mysterious illnesses, unexplained deaths, livestock mutilations. They can read minds, control people, and make them do terrible things. Many Navajo people won't even discuss skinwalkers. Speaking about them is believed to attract their attention, like saying their name sends out a signal. So, apologies to everyone watching this in New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, or Colorado. That's on me, and if you thought mind-reading shapeshifters were bad, our final creature makes everything we've discussed look like a petting zoo. What we're about to discuss is pure, concentrated evil. The Knuckle of V comes from Scotland's Orkney Islands, and it is, without any exaggeration, the most horrifying creature in existence. There is nothing redeemable about it. No tragic backstory, no maybe it's misunderstood angle, no sympathetic origin tale. It exists purely, exclusively to cause suffering and destruction. Its malevolence given physical form. Picture this nightmare. A man's torso fused directly onto a horse's back, not riding it, fused, merged. The man has no legs. He's just part of the horse now, grown into its spine like a tumor. His arms are grotesquely long, reaching all the way to the ground. His head is 3 feet in diameter, just an enormous head sitting on those shoulders. Now here's the part that pushes it into true horror. The knuckle-a-V has no skin. Not on the man, not on the horse, none. Zero. Just exposed muscles, tendons, and internal organs. Black blood pulsing visibly through bright yellow veins across every inch of the body. You can see everything working, every muscle fiber contracting, every vessel pumping. The horse's head has one massive mouth that breathes toxic vapors and one single red eye that burns like flame. Its breath alone wilts crops, sickens livestock, causes epidemics and plagues. Just being near this thing is a death sentence for everything around it. In 1722, the people of Orkney started burning seaweed for industrial purposes, making soap, glass, improving soil, normal farming activities. The pungent smoke enraged the knuckle-a-V so completely that it went on a rampage across every island. Crops destroyed, cattle dead, horses dropping in fields, plagues spreading like wildfire. This skinless abomination went on a tour of apocalyptic destruction because people were making soap. It has exactly one weakness, and it's almost comedic. Freshwater. The knuckle-a-V cannot cross even a small stream, so if this thing is chasing you, just hop over a creek and you're safe. A man named Tammy once encountered one and lived to give a detailed description. His account matches everything I just told you. The details are so specific, so vivid, so consistent that it's been passed down for centuries. The knuckle-a-V has no redemption arc, no way to bargain with it, no method to defeat it beyond avoiding it. It's just concentrated, weaponized evil given a body. And on that cheerful note, sweet dreams. 6 creatures, 6 different cultures, 6 unique nightmares. A woman who will compliment you to death, flying heads with internal organs as propellers, torsos that separate and hunt at night, shape-shifting monsters that could be anyone, a witch who reads minds and murdered their own family, and a skinless demon that exists only to destroy. These aren't just stories, they're warnings passed down through generations. Explanations for the unexplainable, ways to understand death, disease, and the darkness we can't control. Every culture creates monsters, but they all share common fears. Losing children, illness, things that hunt in darkness, threats we can't see coming. Which of these creatures disturbed you most? Why? Let me know in the comments. Before you go to sleep tonight, maybe check your windows. Listen for any ticking sounds. And if someone asks if they're pretty while wearing a surgical mask, just run. Some questions aren't worth answering. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more nightmare fuel. Sleep tight, if you can.